Live from the broadcast center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL9 News at 8.
Tonight, 8 o'clock, stormy weather is on the way, and that has authorities ordering mandatory evacuations in case of mudslides. Who needs to pack up and get out?
President Trump is coming to California. What's on his agenda and who's already protesting?
Julia Child's family home is at the center of a boiling debate in Pasadena tonight, why neighbors are now going after Caltrans. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Jeff Vaughn.
And I'm Elsa Ramon. We begin with worries about the rainy weather headed our way. New mandatory evacuations have been ordered in the burn and mudslide areas of Montecito and Santa Barbara counties.
So the red sections there on the map are in an extreme high risk of flooding. Anyone living in those areas have been ordered to get out immediately. Let's take a live look at KCAL9 weather, showing the approaching rain, which is expected to get heavier throughout the night. KCAL9 meteorologist Evelyn Taft is here now with the latest on what we should expect. Evelyn.
Jeff, Elsa, as we get a look at that radar, a lot of that rain initially wasn't making its way down to the ground, but now a completely different story. We're starting to see a few showers make their way into Southern California, and we're going to see much more rain overnight. This is that plume of subtropical moisture, that leftover plume. So we're going to see quite a bit of rain with this. We could see over an inch in some spots in some lower elevations. So that's definitely a concern for Santa Barbara County with those mandatory evacuations going into effect. You'll see right here showers over parts of the basin, parts of Orange County, and we're just getting started into the morning hours. We're expecting to see more rain as we check in with Futurecast. You'll see by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning that rain mostly situated over Santa Barbara County, but we're going to continue to see ongoing showers throughout the night. Then things really start to intensify by late morning. Again, Santa Barbara County getting hit very hard by late morning. So that is a big concern with the Thomas Fire Burn area and the Montecito area. And you will see by 11:30 tomorrow, we're continuing to see those showers spread across Southern California throughout the day into the afternoon. And this is just the beginning of a series of events throughout the week. We're expecting a whole different system to roll in later in the week, and we could see showers on and off all week long. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a bit, but for now, we'll send it back to you.
Evelyn, thank you so much. We are looking for rain tonight in the Glendale area.
Stu Mundell is in Sky 9, flying high above Southern California. Looks beautiful right now, Stu, but that is going to change.
Well, it might change, and you know what? We're up here at Sky 9 chasing raindrops. We had a little bit of rain out in the valley, but that wasn't good enough. We had to see if we could find some more, and we didn't. We made our way out here over here to Glendale. You can see some damp streets down there on the ground, but nothing falling from the skies up in this area right now. We did listen to Evelyn, and we do know the rain is on its way. We do see some on the radar. Most of it's out towards the west, but from here in the Glendale area, got a pretty good shot all through the way to downtown and also into the Hollywood area. And it does look kind of clear out here, but it definitely has that moisture in the air. Live in Sky 9 over Glendale, Stu Mundell. Back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, Stu, thank you. Remember, you can always stay up to date on the weather with our CBS LA app. It's on iTunes and Google Play as well.
Breaking news tonight, the NTSB has just released this dropping video. It shows the rotor of one Pasadena police helicopter that was landing, clipping the rotor of another chopper that was about to take off at the department's chopper base.
Yeah, it happened 6 years ago, but the video was just released. Pasadena police say 6 people were injured in that 2012 accident. Everyone has recovered, we've been told. On to other news of this hour. President Trump is visiting California for the first time since his inauguration. He is coming here to raise money.
The president will check on prototypes for his border wall. KCAL9's Tom Waite kicks off our team coverage with word about the protests that will greet his arrival in San Diego border communities.
Protesters gathered here just outside of the federal building in downtown San Diego. A very clear message to President Trump. His policies are divisive and they will not stand for them. Take a look at some video here. This was protesters as they came out one by one to speak out against the president's policies. Of course, President Trump will be here tomorrow to look at prototypes for the border wall. That's something he's been planning to do for a long time. This, of course, goes along with his campaign promise to build a wall along the Mexico-California border. There's a lot of protests here planned. They happened also today and then will be again tomorrow. The folks we talked to at this rally say they just want to send Donald Trump a message and they want him to hear this.
This president has waged a war against the Mexican and Latino communities. He has waged a war against women, Muslims, Asians, Africans, and Native communities. Migrant people, regardless of status, should have the right to freedom of movement and choice to better their lives.
And of course, after he makes his visit here in San Diego, he will be headed to Los Angeles, where he is expected to face protesters there as well. Reporting in San Diego, I'm Tom Waite, KCAL9 News.
Our team coverage continues with the protest the president can expect in the LA area. KCAL9's Greg Mills shows us.
Tomorrow, a protest right here in Beverly Hills. Today, it was a rally, and both aimed at President Trump. The president is coming tomorrow, but many of the details of the visit are still under wraps. The Secret Service has kept the president's plans secret. So far, the LAPD tells us, even from them. But they say they are prepared for anything. Any mobilization necessary, they are ready. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department's Emergency Operations Bureau is often activated for big events, but not this time. Secret Service keeping it secret there, too. We do know that tomorrow night, and we saw no stopping signs for tomorrow from 11 a.m. to midnight. These are up along Mulholland Drive from the 405 freeway to the entrance to Beverly Park neighborhood. We also know Air Force One is scheduled to arrive at LAX around the start of the afternoon rush hour.
I need advance notice.
Not this time. She lives on the west side, ground zero for presidential traffic tie-ups throughout the years. One West Sider used one word to describe West Side traffic during President Obama's visits.
Awful. We really were very inconvenient, and he came an awful lot.
There's nothing you could do to prepare for it. You know, you just had to wing it.
This woman said she's fine with this visit because it's for an important reason.
We are going to have a wall.
Governor Brown took a shot at that in his open letter to President Trump. He shared it on Twitter today, pointing out California has a robust economy vital to the U.S. But the governor writes, our prosperity is not built on isolation. Quite the opposite. California thrives because we welcome immigrants and innovators from across the globe. The governor also invited the president to check out his pet project, the high-speed rail line being built in the Central Valley. The president will arrive in the afternoon tomorrow. About the same time, there'll be a protest right here, and Beverly Hills police are going to have extra police on duty. In Beverly Hills, Greg Mills, KCAL9 News.
We will have full coverage of the president's visit to the Southland tomorrow and Wednesday on KCAL9 and KCAL9.com.
The White House unveiled the president's plan for gun and school safety earlier today. Mr. Trump wants to harden security at schools, arm some of the nation's school teachers, improve background checks on gun buyers, and expand the overhaul of the mental health system. Noticeably absent from the president's plan is raising the minimum age to buy an assault weapon from 18 to 21. The president has previously said that he supported that idea, which the NRA opposes. Today, the White House said it wants to study that issue some more.
A jewelry store smash and grab sent people scrambling at the Glendale Galleria on Saturday. Police identified one suspect as 20-year-old Kamal Key. He is in custody, but his 3 accomplices got away. Glendale police hope someone will recognize them and turn them in. 2 of them got away in the mall. The 3rd drove the getaway car.
Well, tonight the memorial is growing for a Pomona police officer shot down during a standoff on Friday night.
The suspect could make his first court appearance as early as tomorrow. KCAL9's Dave Lopez has more on the shooting, including new photos showing the dramatic crime scene.
Behind me, the tribute to a fallen officer continues to grow, and we are now learning more about the suspect. Not only was he paroled from state prison in 2014, but we also have shots that show what it looked like inside that apartment. These shots are taken from the apartment next door. It shows that police had knocked down the wall to get to Valencia, and it also shows the number of bullet holes that Valencia fired before he was subdued. Sheriff deputies paid their respects at the growing memorial outside the Pomona police station in honor of 30-year-old Gregory Casillas. And people from all over the city, all over the area, who didn't even know the officer, also came by.
We needed to come in to give our respects to the police officer and to their family.
Casillas was sworn in as a Pomona police officer 6 months ago. He was on his last night of infield training when detectives say he was shot and killed by 38-year-old Isa de Jesus Valencia, a man that Pomona police say they arrested at least twice over the last several years. He also served time in state prison for firing a gun in a school zone, was paroled in May of 2014, and according to one Pomona officer, quote, "We were well aware of him." Today at the scene of the shooting, Pomona Mayor Tim Sandoval comforted a woman who lives in the apartment next door When the shots rang out, she didn't want to say anything. But this woman who lives in the complex did.
I'll try to stay away from him.
She told me Valencia never caused any problems in the complex, but he just made her feel uneasy. And when the shots rang out that night, she said she was hiding on the bedroom floor. Also today, the family of Alex Wynn, the officer who was shot next to Casillas, sent out their thanks for all the prayers. Wynn is now home and recovering. He was shot in the jaw. Today, detectives are still providing little details of what happened. But sources have told me that Casillas was one of the last responding police officers on the scene. 8 squad cars responded, and that family members had told the officers that Valencia was battling mental issues. Casillas and Wynn then went up the stairs toward the apartment, number 32, where Valencia was. According to sources not authorized to speak on the record, I was told that the 2 officers, Casillas and Wynn, knocked on the door. The family told them that there was no weapons inside, none whatsoever. We did not see any bullet holes through the front door, but the glass was shattered in front of the apartment. Valencia could appear in court tomorrow, but more than likely it'll be on Wednesday. As for funeral services for the fallen officer Casillas, those are still pending. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children, ages 4 and 8 months. From Pomona, Dave Lopez, KCAL9 News.
Developing news in the battle over Charles Manson's body. A California court has decided Manson's grandson will get custody of his remains. Manson's son and a man who became Manson's prison pen pal were fighting for control of the cult leader's body. He died in November after decades in prison.
A veterans memorial is found vandalized in Orange County. Gang graffiti was found yesterday on the Among Heroes mural in Santa Ana. And then more tagging was found today. Mural was made by a local artist and pays tribute to Santa Ana World War II veterans.
Just frustrating, insulting to the families, to the community, and to the families of this men that went and fought and died during World War II. It's more of a shame.
Well, the artist tells us he thinks it'll take 2 months and cost about $6,000 to repair that mural.
That is so unfortunate. Well, March Madness is about to begin. I can feel it in the air, and a billionaire is taking the hoop hysteria to an all-new high. That's coming up next. Evelyn.
And we're getting a look outside right now. Some showers moving in, but widespread rain on the way. We're going to break it all down ahead.
I'm Michelle Geely in Orange County. Questions from a man's family about why he died. Anaheim police struggled to get him into custody, but was that the cause?
And was it a confession? O.J. Simpson interview that baffled the minds of many. We'll have that coming up.
First, here's a look at the best of L.A. and Orange County tonight on KCAL9.com, where we are always on. KCAL9 News at 8. We'll be right back.